Hey everyone, this is Sam, and today I'm gonna show you one of the best and most unique builds in all of Ghost Tsushima. It is gonna allow you to use poison like you have never imagined before alongside with your ghost weapons. The ability and potential of this build is gonna turn your gameplay into something you can't imagine. You can actually fight entirely on horseback if you want to. And when you do it just right, your rate of poisoning and the total destruction and just terrifying situations you can cause to your enemies will be as insane as what you're seeing on the screen right now. That is Jin just fighting with no honor and just my goodness. So I call this build the Green Mist Ghost. So if you enjoyed today's tutorial, please share and like, and if you would like to see more Tsushima tutorials, just make sure to subscribe. And if you want to catch up on the previous one, there's a playlist in the description of all the tutorials I've made on this game. So to complete this build, here are the 6 charms you're going to need. The 2 Charm of Fortunes to increase your success chance of the Fire Doctrine. And you're going to need the Yuriko's Keepsake to get your poison rate to up to 60%. Now for the armor, you're going to need the Kensei armor. This is because your goal is to increase your ghost weapon damage and also to get the debuff of the ghost weapon 50% on offense and defense in case you get into a sword fight situation. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to use fire for groups, but you're going to use poison for isolation or 1v1 or 1v2 situations. Essentially, you're using fire to start fights and poison to kill. And because fire has a 60% chance to terrify because of your Charm of Fortunes, same thing with the poison arrows, originally 30, but now it's also up to 60. So you have a 60% chance to fire terrify, and your poison has 60% chance to kill. Because any kind of poison hit is an instant kill. So you can see when the enemy drops the weapon after you hit them with a poison arrow, that's the animation that shows you they've been poisoned, and by that point is over for them. They're defeated. It just takes time for them to go away. Now you can see the enemies that are running away, they're either terrified from the fire or the poison. We will never know, but you know, it's effective. 1 poison arrow takes care of 3 guys essentially, and we instant kill the leader. So, and remember this, poison needs only body shots. So this comes in very handy later in Act 3 and in lethal mode, because majority of your enemies are going to be wearing armor, so you can't get a lot of headshots. But the key about the body shots is even when you get a headshot, go for the body shot for poison, because there's no need to pull the arrow back. So you can get 2 shots or 3 shots off in concentration if you just do these light pullbacks on your poison arrows. So that makes everything more efficient. And obviously when you get into group fight situations, mix in the ghost weapons to debuff your enemies. But when you see a leader, definitely body shot them with poison arrows. 1 or 2 until they drop their weapon. Most of the time 1 would do it. Once they're poisoned, they're out of the picture. And remember, I threw the kunai at the beginning of this fight. So all 3 of these enemies are debuffed. So they're 50% weaker and 50% more prone to taking damage. So essentially they can't do anything against my Jin. You can see I'm just one-shotting them. There's that leader again. I hit him with the poison arrow. Body shots on knees. Just go for the knees and they will be poisoned. And that will be the end of that. And because of the fact that you can take 2 shots pretty much per concentration, you can fight on horseback entirely if you want to when you're exploring, or you can go in a horse in a camp and just fight on horseback. Kind of ironic that the Mongol don't fight on horseback, but you do. But you can see quick trigger, 1-shot kills off concentration. I don't have to pull the bow back because I'm just hunting for body shots. This guy is poisoned. That guy is terrified by the poison. We're gonna chase him down as if we're Mongol horseback ourselves. Very, very satisfying. So, like I said, you can literally do entire fights on your horse, because now your poison arrows are so devastating. They have the chance to instant kill, you know, leaders, and also, you know, terrify your enemies. And as they are terrified, they're just out of the picture. You can just let them run away. It doesn't matter, right? So there's only 1 guy left, so I decided to give him the critical strike off the horse. And then, like I said, 1v1, you can throw the ghost weapons to debuff them if you want to, but it's 1v1. Get the right stance, stagger them. They have no chance. Even on lethal. These are all lethal mode footage, and you can see they can't do much against the poison green mist build. So, shield guys, all arrows, no problem. Body shots only. Find their knees, find their guts, find their backs, find their shoulders, and 2 poison. 1 guy terrified off the poison. Knock him down, we're good to go. Now, because of the fact that the poison is so effective, you can actually sneak and do one-shot kills. So this is pretty much the build I like to use when I want to sneak around and just do one-shot kills. Body shots, concentration, can at least get off 2 arrows. Easy body shots, don't need to aim, don't need to put a bow back, nice and fast and efficient. Even if they're not poisoned, they're terrified from the other people who are poisoned. And the craziest thing about this is, you can see I do an explosive arrow here, but fire arrows can still poison. You see, this guy is ignited and poisoned. That is terrible. And here you can see a gameplay from me where I'm on lethal mode, fighting against 30 enemies, and I'm not going to pull out my katana once. And I'm going to win. So that's the potential of this build, really, and just how devastating these fire arrows and poison arrows can be when you combine them with the Charm of Fortune. And if you also don on the Kensei armor right here, your ghost weapons are going to be so strong. And if anybody does make it through to fight you, by chance, if anybody makes it through, you can use your ghost weapons to debuff them, and then use all the stands available to you to defeat them. So essentially, you have everything covered. Long distance, short distance, or mid-range, right? Long distance, you got the bows. Mid-range, you got the ghost weapons and the bows. Short distance, if they make it to you after all the poisoning and the firing and the debuff, you're gonna debuff them if they make it close to you. They have to fight you in close range, either, you know, with half health, half weakened, and, you know, extremely exposed to your any kind of sword damage you do. So you can see I'm not pulling out my katana once, so not even on the enemies that are, you know, down. I'm not even gonna, you know, do the end of suffering. And I can do the entire, pretty much 30 guys here on lethal mode, no katana. So that's pretty much really just the devastating potential of this build. You can just stay out of the fight. Now, would I consider this an arrow build? In a way, I guess so, but not really, right? Because you have the... Because a true arrow build, you're gonna, you know, hunt for headshots. But this, you're just using your arrows and your resources, thinning out the enemy, driving them and scaring them off. And for the ones who do make it up to you, then you're gonna use your whole arsenal of ghost weapons. Remember, you can still use the Way of the Flame to take advantage of the Fire Doctrine. You still have all your poison and hallucination darts. If you want hilarious moments to entertain yourself, I suggest start out with a hallucination dart and then poison everybody else, and you can just see one Mongol enemy killing all his poison buddies, and then the guys that are not poisoned just completely, you know, terrified of what is happening in front of them. So this is I would consider this a group control AoE kind of build, but with the potential to dominate you in any kind of sword fighting, because you're gonna get debuffed. That's the key. So you see that they got more close, I debuff all of them, and then I can go back to poison arrows if I want to. If not, I can just go chase them down. They're incredibly weak and they can't do any damage to me, and that guy got terrified by the poison. And 1v1, water stand shield guy, he's got no chance because he's weakened. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll talk to you guys again real soon.